Hello, folks. Welcome to today's football predictions on bettor. It's another very beautiful week, a beautiful Monday morning, and we are back with our predictions as usual. As always, what we do on this very channel, looking at football matches that are going on across the globe, and also getting the history and the stats of each of these teams. Using those stats, we always come up with the verdicts. Best possible verdict for each of these matches. That's what we do on a daily basis. All right. And yesterday we had quite good outing. So the big odds that we predicted yesterday actually coming out successful, and also the smaller ones missing out. But we put that behind us, and also look at doing so very well today. And today we're quite prepared, and we'll be looking at the matches already lined up here, in a short while. But we want to ask those of us who are coming across our video for the first time that are yet to subscribe. If you want to be winning games, all right, take our time to subscribe to us, subscribe so that you don't miss out on our screen games that will always come up on this very channel, on a daily basis. Also remember to join our Telegram channel as well, as we post our updates there also on a daily basis. All right, without further ado, let's set to the business of today, and we start with the very first match of today. It is the match in Italian Serie A, where we have Genoa who will be facing AC Milan. Okay, when we look at the stats for each of these two sides, you can see for Genoa, they've managed to achieve 2 victories and a draw in the last 6 matches, but have lost 3 games out of those. And we side AC Milan have won 3 games and 2 draws, losing just 1 in the last 6 recent encounters. All right, when you take a look at how these two teams fared from home and away perspective, you can see that playing from home, and Genoa have managed to 5 wins and 3 draws in the last 10 home matches. They've also had 2 losses. And away side AC Milan, on the other hand, have won 5 games from away. They've also lost 5 games in the last 10 away matches that they have so far. Okay, and when you look at how they fared on head-to-head, the last 2 times both teams met, saw them playing out a draw. But in this very one, also noting the fact that Milan needs this very encounter, needs to win for them to be able to keep up the hope of qualifying for a continental competition for next season. So they'll be, but actually Genoa had nothing to lose. Whether they win or draw or lose, it has no effect on the outcome of the season for them. So we expect the Milan side, who will be much more pushed to achieve a result here, to win out from. So it is our side to win. That's what we expect for that very encounter. Okay, we win. That's our verdict. And the next game is in Turkey Super League, where we have Kasimpasa who will be facing Trabzonspor. Okay, when you look at the recent games for each of these two sides, for Kasimpasa, the home side have had 3 victories and a draw. They've also lost 2 matches in the last 6 games. And away side, Trabzonspor have won 5 games out of 6, losing just 1 in the last recent 6 matches. So right when you take a look at the performances from home and away basis, we see Kasimpasa, the home side, have had 5 wins and 3 draws, also losing 2 matches in the last 10 home matches that they have so far. But the away side, Trabzonspor have had 2 wins, 2 draws, also losing 6 games out of the last 10 away games. Okay, but when you take a look at how these two teams are, the score line for both teams, you can see that for the home side, Kasimpasa, they've actually witnessed over 2.5 8 times out of 10 in the last 10 home matches that they had so far, and away side, have managed to achieve over 2.5 7 times out of 10. And on head-to-head basis, you can see that the last time both teams met, it was a draw, 2-2 draw. That was in December of last year. But prior to that, we also saw them playing out a 2-3 victory for Kasimpasa from away. And the last 3 head-to-head meetings for both sides have produced lots of goals. And in this very one, we expect to see a minimum of 3 goals in this very encounter. So we expect that on about 2.5. That's valid for that very game. Okay, the next game is in Danish Super League, where we have Sonderjyske will be up against Aalborg. For Sonderjyske, it is 4 victories and a draw, as well as 1 loss in the last 6 matches. And that we side Aalborg, 2 draws, but have also lost 4 games. They've not been able to win a single match in the last 6 matches that they have so far. Okay, taking a look at the performances from home and away perspective, you can see that Sonderjyske, the home side, playing from home, have actually won 3 games and a draw, but have also lost 6 matches in the last 10 matches that they have so far. And away side Aalborg have managed 2 victories and 3 draws. Also, they have lost 5 matches in the last 10 away games. Okay, the away side losing, and the last match for the home side saw them playing out a 2-2 draw against Viborg, and also we saw Aalborg losing to Sikkeborg by 4-0 in the last away game that they had. Okay, on head-to-head basis, the last time both teams met was actually last month, and it was Sonderjyske who won from away on that occasion by 3-2 against this very side. And we also saw Aalborg also beating this very side in March from away by 3-0. The last three head-to-head meetings have actually produced a lot of goals, and in this one we are actually going for goals as well in this, and we're supposed to see a minimum of 3 goals, and it is on about 2.5. That's all for that very encounter. And the next is in Swedish first division, where we have Malmo FF, who will be coming up against Brommapojkarna. Okay, when you take a look at the recent games for each of these two sides, you can see that for Malmo, the home side, it is 3 victories and 2 draws, as well as 1 loss in the last 6 matches. And the away side, Brommapojkarna managed to achieve 3 victories and a draw, losing 2 matches in the last 6 games. Okay, when you look at how they fare from home and away basis, you see that Malmo, the home side, have had 7 victories and 2 draws, also losing 1 match in the last 10 home games. And away side, Brommapojkarna have managed 2 victories, 3 draws, but have lost 5 games in the last 10 away games that they have so far. All right, and head-to-head basis, we see that Malmo also have dominated the proceedings between these two sides, winning a lot of time. And the last 10 head-to-head meetings between these two sides have seen Malmo winning 8 times out of 10, and the other 2 being a draw. There's not been a side that Brommapojkarna have had a victory against this very side. And the last meeting between the two sides was in November, and Malmo won from home on that occasion by 2 goals to 1. So we'll be expecting the home side of Malmo to take the victory in this very one. So it is a home side to win outrightly. That's everybody for that very encounter. And the next game for today is in Romanian League One, where we have FCSB, who will facing Dinamo Bucuresti. Okay, for FCSB in the recent games, they have been able to achieve 4 victories and 2 draws. And the side, Bucuresti have had just 1 win and a draw, losing 4 games in the last 6 games that they have so far. All right, on head-to-head on home and away performances, we see that the home side FCSB have managed to achieve 6 victories and 2 draws in the last 10 home matches. They've also had 2 losses as well. And away side, on the other hand, Dinamo Bucuresti have had 4 victories and 3 draws, losing 3 matches in the last 10 away games that they have so far. But also, when you look at the score line for each of these two sides, you can see that the last home match for FCSB saw them play winning against CFR Cluj by 3 goals to 2. That score line, a lot of goals. And the away side also, Dinamo Bucuresti defeating University at Cluj by 4 goals to 2, also producing lots of goals. And when you take a look at how they fared on head-to-head basis, last time both teams met, it was FCSB who won from away by 2 goals to 1, and we saw FCSB also beating this very side by 2 goals to 1 once again. As a matter of fact, the last 5 head-to-head meetings have always seen the last 8 meetings for both sides have actually seen FCSB winning on all 8 between these two sides. And out of the last 10 meetings, Dinamo Bucuresti have only managed just 1 victory against this very side. That was in Romanian Cup. But FCSB have actually won 9 times out of 10 rather, in the last 10 meetings between the two sides. And they've actually produced a lot of goals in recent times. And this one, we're actually going with the goals, even though we much more expect the home side to win here. But we also expect to see a lot of goals. So it is an over 2.5. Minimum of 3 goals. That's what we expect for this very encounter. All right, and that will take us to the last game for today. It is in okay, that's actually the last game for today, and that's where we conclude. And we wish you the very best of luck. I hope your ticket goes green. Also, remember to play responsibly, as football. These are football games. Sometimes it may disappoint. All right. That being said, tomorrow is another day. And we'll be coming up with our predictions right on this very channel. Do not miss out on our games. But until that time, keep winning.